It's time for the Luke Howard Show Live! Woo! 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 Hey! Woo! 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 All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome. Morning to the one and the only show, the Luke Howard Show. Morning again. Hope you're all well. Hope you've all had another great week. Do you know what? We've got a great way to kickstart February today. It is the 1st of February, of course. Pinch punch, first of the month. No returns. Yes, it's a very special day because it's the 1st of February, and not just that. That means one thing. 10 days to go to my 18th birthday, and I'm really, really excited. Everyone out there knows that I'm very excited about it. I'm off to Norfolk, so next weekend show is going to be live, and then after that I'm off, and then the weekend show, next weekend, the weekend after that, which is the 15th, that show shall be recorded. That's the 15th, that show's going to be recorded. I'm recording it tomorrow, so that'll be recorded for the 15th of February. So that's that one, but next week's show is live. Can you hear that squeaky in my chair? Can you hear it? Listen, it's right now because I just moved it. Yeah, hope you're all well, by the way. I've had a great week, another long week. But, sometimes it goes quick, sometimes it goes slow. But, we just have to go with the flow and see how we go. Okay, so, Brexit is over! Yay! Brexit's over! Woo! Brexit's over. No more talking about Brexit and no more talking about whether we're going to be in or out. No more talking about any of that because guess what? It's all over. Yes! Finished at 11 o'clock last night. We all stayed up late and it all came in and now we're an independent country. So, welcome Brexit. That's all I can say. We're out of the EU. We're nothing to do with Europe anymore. We are just an independent country. Quiet, slow, calm country. Well, I won't say that. But anyway, yes, so it's a beautiful day, as always, but it doesn't really... Do you know what? I'm going to be honest. It doesn't really feel different, doesn't it? Come on, you must believe me. It doesn't really feel different, does it? Come on. I mean, Brexit's happened. We're out of the EU. To be honest, I don't really think much has really happened. It doesn't really feel like anything. It just feels normal. It just feels like a normal day. But there is this story in the papers saying that we're flying Brits home from virus terror. Now, Britain is hoping to escape the epicentre of the coronavirus outbreak, and this was finally set to fly home from China the other night, and the Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab announced that Chinese officials... Let me just say about this story first, and then we'll come back to the story about Brexit. This had reversed on earlier decision to block a plane due to carry around 150 Brits home from the worst hit city, which is called Wuhan. He said that the flight would depart Wuhan at 11 p.m. British time, but evacuees were still waiting to hear if they would have loved ones and the Chinese nations behind. Now, the plane chartered in Spain was actually due to land at NRAF Brize Norton in Oxfordshire. It was then set to fly on the Madrid with 50 EU nationals. Now, rescued Brit face 14 days. Quite a long time. 14 days, by me. And repeatedly in the NHS staff announcing that the Arrow Park Hospital in Wirral, Merseyside. Now, Mr. Raab said that the safety and security of British nationals is our top priority and our embassy in Beijing and consular teams remain in close contact with British nationals in the region to ensure that they have the latest information. Now, the news of the airlift came in the World Health Organization, which declared the outbreak an international public health emergency. And it said that the greatest concern was the virus spreading to countries with weaker health systems. Now, meanwhile, there were chaotic scenes at Civitavecchia in Italy when the port commander said 1,000 passengers from a Qantas cruise ship should Dissenbrook. The Coastal Conservancy has been in lockdown, though, by the way. It has been in lockdown since a woman from Macca reported the flu-like symptoms. Now, preliminary tests proved that negative for coronavirus, but Mayor Aaronsi Tazesu, who raced to the port in a flat 500 yelling, "Are you crazy? Blimey!" Unsolicited, the 7,000 passengers and crew remain on board until further test results arrive. Now, more than 8,000 coronavirus causes have been confirmed worldwide, with at least 170 dead. There have been 10 in Europe, but none in the UK. Now, the other day, the Second City Apple Hotel in York was put on lockdown after a man believed to be a Chinese national was taken to hospital after feeling ill. Blimey, if you're going to China, be very, very careful because of this bloody virus. Excuse my French. That has been going around. I said bloody virus, but that's not really swearing. But this virus has been going around in China. I would be very, very careful if I was you. I wouldn't go to China. I wouldn't go at all. Just don't go because it's very, very dangerous. I wouldn't go. There's another thing on my script that we're going to be talking about in a moment, about 1,800 bills. We'll get to that in a minute. But yes, I am glad that Brexit's over. It's the 1st of February. Let's enjoy the rest of this 11 months until Boris Johnson has another decision on something. I'm not quite sure what it was, but we will find out. We will find out what it's going to be on the 31st of December 2020. So good luck to Boris Johnson, is all I can say. Okay, moving on from Brexit now, because we're going to talk about this phone iPad thing that's been in the news about passcodes and fingerprints. Now, a mother whose 8-year-old Duff her racked up a 1,000. It says on my script 1,857 bill on an iPad games. Why me? No! This has warned other parents to beware that Katie Phillips, 35, was horrified when she got a Barclaycard bill for 255 items from 95p to 19.99. It's like something I would do on iTunes Store. I do it all the time. I do it with music. Even though she and her husband, Matty, 42, had password protected to app purchases. Now, she said that her daughter, who she has not named, did not know the payment password, but a man aged to reset it, that her fingerprints. She then went on a 6-day agree playing Roblox, and which is Roblox. I used to play Roblox when I was younger, and it's just an app where users create games with friends, really, with that little robots. But she also said she lives in Wrexham, which is in North Wales. Wrexham in North Wales. And she said that her daughter is barriered from using the 300 iPad, her dream Christmas present, until April this year. And she said that she was banned from iTunes games forever. The call certified advisor, who entirely thought that the bill was fraud, and she said that we're all really angry that she is innocent, and she said that she thought it was free, warning that other parents. Mrs. Phillips added that I thought that I was being careful, which is true because she was being careful, especially for her daughter. And she said that obviously not careful enough, children were clever, and you have to be very vigilant, apparently. That's a strong word. Now, Barclaycard said that Mrs. Phillips was liable for the bill, but it would not charge the internet test. And Apple has been asked for the comment. There you go. So that's another bit of story in there. There's also a story about a judge that lets a Grand's mugger go free as he acted on impulse. Now, a mugger who basically ripped a gold chain from a pensioner's neck. Blimey, no! Another bad story. No! This was he was spared jail by a judge who said that he'd acted on impulse. Now, this is Mangpreet Shambly, age 40. He pounced on a 72-year-old grandmother as she walked to a cycle temple with a friend at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He grabbed her chain and pendant. Disgusting bloke. It was actually worth £2,000, actually, to be honest. It was worth £2,000, and he yanked it off her neck, pushed her to the floor, and ran away. Just days after the robbery, on September the 9th last year, Banbury was arrested when he was caught on CCTV selling the jewellery at a pawn shop, not a jewellery shop. The chain was recovered, but not the pendant, would you believe? The dad of two of rugby in Warwickshire admitted robbery and was given a 15th month suspended sentence. Good on you. 150 hours impaled work and ordered to pay his victim. He is a victim, who is now scared to go out. Now, £600 compensation suspending him at Warwick Crown Court. Judge Peter Cook, Cook said he was plainly an intelligent family man who was held down principally jobs, but it's clear that he has been battling with class and drugs for some time and was facing increasingly impulsive threats to reprobate. When he saw these two ladies in the street, he acted on impulse. Now that story is just awful, absolutely awful. And if you want to read more about that story, it says on my script that you can find it in yesterday's Metro. That's still if you've got it. But it says on my script that is where you can find it, but I doubt you'll be able to find it because it was actually in yesterday's. But so coming up today, we've got a really good show. We've got lots of great music. We're going to be playing Let's Dance, sung by the wonderful David Bowie, and then we're also going to be playing to you Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, and lots more great music. But first, I'm just going to do my little talk more about Brexit. Am I going to? No? Okay. Because Piers Bloomfield the other day was going absolutely mental about Brexit. He's a massive debate of mine. He's absolutely mad about Brexit. All he ever says is Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. So Piers, if you're listening, morning. I have said this before. So good luck to you, Piers, about this Brexit. But it's all over now, so we haven't got to talk about it anymore. We're a different country, we're independent. I don't think we're different, as I said earlier on. But, it's just... silly if you ask me, absolutely silly. But I think there's horse racing on this weekend as well. I'm not quite sure what sports are on this weekend, but there was something in the paper that says that a Heinz All Blacks victory, the blueprint for success. Now, Will Hines admits England are wary of suffering a World Cup hangover. They've got the rugby on today, I think, as well. The rugby's going to be on as well today. He insists that the team are capable of exaggerating the heights of their World Cup semi-final win over New Zealand. Now, the post-Japan era begins against France in Paris tomorrow, when Eddie Jones title favourites aim to launch their Six Nations with a performance that proves the 32-12 defeat by South Africa in the Yorkshire Showcase was actually an aberration. A round earlier, that the All Blacks were overwhelmed in one of the finest curations in the nation's rugby history, and Hines insists that the famous day, which is a 19/7 victory, must serve as England's apparently target. Now, the New Zealand game is the blueprint for how we want to play, and the game it's definitely responsible, said that the Gloucester scrum half. Now, the challenge is for this group, and it's to the teams who have been World Cups, and it's up in the past. History shows that they haven't performed that well in the years afterwards. We're all aware of that, and it's about the players in the group taking control and not putting any limits on themselves. We laid some really good foundations before Japan, and actually the Japan, but we know that we can't waste days and have to hit the ground running in the Six Nations. It's not about reventing the will, it's about building on what we've got, and we're making it better and better. That's what he said. And he also said we want to be brutal, that's a posh word. We want to be powerful. We want to have the strong set place and kicking game. That's what, he just basically wants to be brutal, powerful, and wants a good game. And he said it's clear to see that those things aren't quite working. For whatever reason, you've got to have something else to go to. He said you have to have another way of wrestling and a moment of the opposal and floating ways to fight those tough moments when they appear. And that story you can read in one of the papers. I'm not quite sure what paper it was. I think it was the Daily Mail. I'm not sure what paper that was in. But it says on my script that it was in the Daily Mail. So, there you go. Not Daily Mail. No, it says it was in the Metro. Another one in the Metro. God, we have so many papers in the Metro, don't we? Because I get on a bus, and what I do is I get them all, and then I put it on my script what I'm going to talk about. So, there you go. So that's behind the scenes of what you can see at the Luke Howard Show. There you go. If you want to get in touch on this great show, you can text the word talk and your name to 07593 847 105. Let me know what you're doing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let me know what you're doing. What are you doing? Let me know. Let me know where you are, what you're doing, whatever. Whatever you want us to do or say, and I'll say it on the show, or you can call that number if you want, and we'll give you a little talk on the show. or you can email us. It's GaryJHoward68@hotmail.com. That's GaryJHoward68@hotmail.com, and it's all lowercase. Or you can find us on Instagram. Find the fan page. It's at the Luke Howard fan page. We do post on there quite a lot. Or you can use the hashtags. I will be posting. I will be